Smith and Rowland podcast time. Brought to you by Schofield Reference Bible.
That's exactly right. I like that. Wow. Brought to you by Schofield Reference Bible.
Sponsored by.
That's right.
How you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Hope you are, Mr. Rowland.
Good.
That's wonderful.
Doing well. Today's Friday.
Today's Friday.
The weekend is looming.
I have learned something.
Okay.
There's 300 and almost 60 million people in the United States, and only between 7 and 8 million Jews.
What about that? Yeah.
I just don't figure out how you get them running everything. It's not enough of them to go around. You gotta have.
It would be a feat.
Yeah, you got to have enough to, whatever.
You'd think it'd be a larger percentage.
That's not about 8 million versus 360 million. So that's.
But it's a topic. That's what we're going to deal with Sunday.
That's your topic.
And is this buzz of anti-Semitism, so-called, and I think it's both reality and blowed up. I think it's both. I don't think you can ignore the reality of it because of who is promoting it. But it is certainly blown up in terms of there being this mad rush of anti-Semitism in America.
Just talk. I mean, it's a lot of talk out there now on that topic. And, of course, the Bible even tells us that in the end times, here we are in the end, Jeff, that it says that all the nations of the world will rise up against Israel.
And we're seeing all that.
That's pretty anti-Semitic, I guess.
Yeah, it is. And it's also kind of a sign of that we are in the end time.
It's kind of a sign we're in the end time, and it's kind of a sign that we're in the crowd that's going to rise up against them.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
And Jeff and I both believe that if that's what we're doing, we need to quit it.
Absolutely.
Because we do believe that the Jewish nation should be honored. And
it's an odd thing. If you go back, Alan, it'd be interesting to me what kind of a percentage of the populace of the Jews rejected Christ versus those that followed him. There was mass crowds that followed him.
Well, that'd be an interesting amount.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, we know that Peter didn't convert Jerusalem as a whole. Mm-hmm. He had a large conversion now because we know he had over 3,000 or 4,000 one day. That's better.
And then it said it multiplied.
And then it multiplied, and that's better than we did last Sunday.
Yeah.
So there was some pretty
good. A little bit better than what we did.
Yeah, a little better.
Not much, but a little.
So that's still pretty good. But we also know that they didn't convert the nation, even though he tried.
Yeah, right. But the reason I bring it up is.
But he did convert quite a few.
Yeah, and during the time of the earthly ministry of Christ, there was masses that followed him. Now, not everybody that followed him, I'm assuming, wanted his death, but some did. The reason I bring it up is because the Sanhedrin, they was against him. The religious crowd,
you're right,
those that were in places of authority,
which is the Sanhedrin,
they despised Jesus. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that in terms of those in America in places of authority and influence. Mm-hmm. I think that the percentage of anti-Semitic rhetoric and behavior would be larger in those in places of authority than it would in the population.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and I would have to agree. I wonder how, I don't know, we're going to get into a little Bill O'Reilly video here, Jeff. Mm-hmm. And in Bill O'Reilly, the title of it, That Is Really Frightening. And he's addressing the Nick Fuentes anti-Semitism in America, his take on it, how his rhetoric, and I'll just call it rhetoric because that's what it is, of him spouting off the things that he says. I don't know. I don't think I can tell you Nick Fuentes was not raised in the same high school as I was.
Definitely not than I was.
Because he wouldn't.
And he hadn't graduated but a couple of years ago.
I know it, and so if you'd been in my high school, he wouldn't be talking like that.
No, sure not in mine. Which brings up another.
He says things like there's no consequence.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get that.
Me neither. And I don't understand. Well, I don't even understand how he could, at his age, arrive at any conclusion, much less the conclusions he's made.
Well, he seems to be pretty emphatic about it.
Yeah, and I say this is going to be bad, and we'll probably get some.
All right, I'll clean it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's 27 years old, and I don't think he has any business influencing anybody at that age. I just don't think he's got enough life experience. He definitely doesn't have enough wisdom. That's proven by what he's saying.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't mind the age as much as I do. It's obvious he needs a little more age before he starts talking.
But it speaks to something here. He's Nick Fuentes would be considered on the far right. Bill O'Reilly's going to label him really as a neo-Nazi, even though he says he don't know that, but he's at least speaking their points of view. Mm-hmm. On the Democrat left, they're wanting to lower the voting age to 16. And they're serious about that. The reason is because they own that demographic. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're 16, 17 years old and somebody says, the government ought to buy you a car, they're going to vote for you. You know what I mean? So, but there is that, there's something going on in the youth that is both good and it's evil all at the same time. And I think it depends on what side of the truth you're on and what part of truth has you've allowed to emanate inside of you as to whether or not, you're on the good side or the bad side. Mm-hmm. But there's definitely a dark and a light that is going on in that age group. Yeah,
there's no doubt. Well, they're trying to they are really trying to find their personal identity and all this sort of stuff, and they're having all this information thrown at them from all different angles.
We talked about Doug Wilson. I just wanted to point out, Doug Wilson made the comment that if Nick Fuentes was any sign of Christian nationalism, count him out.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So
yeah, he did.
I can say amen to Doug Wilson.
He did. Yeah. Doug did say that, and he wrote the book on.
Yeah, he did.
On it.
Yeah, that's right.
On Christian nationalism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. All right, Mr. Rowland, you want to? What do you want to do?
Yeah. Well, Bill O'Reilly, of course, is
Bill O'Reilly.
He's Bill O'Reilly, so you don't have to say nothing more about him, but. I found the first. We'll pause this as we go.
Okay.
But I found the first statement he makes pretty interesting in and of itself. So.
Okay. You can pause it on your end when it's time.
Yeah.
Controversial commentary that I've done on YouTube, and I got to deal with it. I don't really want to, but I have to deal. So you remember on October 7th, 27th, I should say, October 27th. Tucker Carlson had a guy on his podcast, Nick Fuentes.
Let me pause just right there.
Okay.
I found it interesting. He started this out by saying this is one of the most controversial videos he's done.
He did.
And,
that's
and that was interesting to me.
It is to me.
That was interesting, and it's about his reaction to Nick Fuentes being on Tucker Carlson's podcast. Mm-hmm. So he labels this commentary here as the most controversial. Now, Bill O'Reilly has done some controversial.
He's done some controversial stuff.
What makes this rise to such a level that he would say this is probably the most controversial subjects he's
I would consider Bill O'Reilly the most seasoned journalist out there.
Absolutely.
In all honesty.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not even much of a Bill O'Reilly fan.
I'm not,
but
I'm beginning to be more every day.
Well, yeah, he does a very objective, fact-based analysis of anything he talks about.
Yeah, he's pretty.
That's undeniable. But
Yeah.
what would make this the most controversial topic he's covered?
Well,
I wonder about that.
Well, I think one thing is the individual's the most controversial one out there right now, which is Nick Fuentes.
Okay,
He's definitely a.
so that would mean then that Nick Fuentes is a major player or a major influencer.
Well, he's majorly loud about what he thinks. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that tends to get a lot of, a lot of
I just
airtime.
really when I watched this earlier today, he made that statement. He said, "This is the most controversial thing." I'm thinking, wow, because that's big.
That's saying a lot. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So Mr. Fuentes is a young man, 27 years old, political commentator, and he's far, far, far right. And not only that, but he rewrites history. He's kind of like Hitler in the Third Reich. He doesn't like Jews very much. And a lot of things he says are anti-Semitic, in my opinion. He would say they're not, but you can decide that for yourself. But he raises the question of anti-Semitism in America. And that is what we're going to deal with tonight, because you need to know about it in a fair and fact-based analysis. So let's start off with a sound.
About putting aside challenge to that is organized Jewry in America.
Mr. Fuentes, and there's some kind of organized can I go visit? Has fairly just laid on their not, but if city because people do that. So
Does a good job.
He just made, because it not seem, which I watched that Nick Fuentes trying my best myself to figure out. I've never heard of the Association of Jews in America. Mm-hmm. I've never heard of that before. The dispersion so scattered abroad that the only organization that I've seen of Jews anywhere is the State of Israel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So what gives Nick Fuentes the right to label something as organized Jewry in America? How is he defining that? Do you know that? Do you know how he's defining that?
Well, I think we've got a spiritual epidemic here, Jeff, if you'll let me frame it like that. And the spiritual epidemic is You and I did a podcast on it here three weeks ago, or 2 or 3, on how you can be so suspicious of something. Suspicion, when you're really suspicious, is an accusation without you owning what you just said.
Yeah.
It's a way of jury.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a suspicion.
Yeah.
You've heard of the Jewish cabal, or that you had a half a dozen Jewish bankers get together and to own all the money now or something.
Yeah.
It's just are powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Should take a look to make a statement without owning it because you didn't really. And one thing I like about O'Reilly, pretty he operates in the five. So individual level, as the old drunk said, basis, Jew, Gentile, stream into that. Definitely wouldn't have any. All of this, and I guess, and like her mate. And they're thinking, and then go. We don't go to the store. That
But
the
Nick,
point. Regard of an individual. I'm still trying.
Fuentes is saying much the same thing. Did
It's like a
Agreed.
pushback.